What's up, my authentic fam? I know a lot of you guys missed me, or at least you missed these one-on-ones, these little tips that I used to give in the past. So before I get into it, a couple of quick announcements. We've been really busy in preparing and planning the talk show that's coming. That's right, everybody's doing a podcast, but I'm actually just gonna go ahead and do a talk show. I'm gonna just be retro with it, old school, try to bring back that 90s feel and kind of fill that void that was missing back then, now that we have the opportunity to do that. So the podcast is really just filling the space that used to be occupied by talk shows. And I think that this kind of ties in well with today's topic. And what I'm going to talk about right quick is why modern women don't respect men. And I actually think there's a little correlation there, because why we have what's called the manosphere is because in pop culture and media, we've had all these different platforms where women can speak and women's opinions and thoughts and feelings can be heard, and we never had an equal male counterpart to that. We really never had it, right? So the only time men could really have those conversations were amongst men that they personally knew in personal spaces, rather than on an open forum like how women can on Oprah, Ricky Lake, Dr. Phil's show, Montel Williams, whatever, right? So anyhow, guys, that's where my creative vision is going, and that's what I'm going to do. We're already almost there. We're going to kick it off in January, so we're going to start fresh in 2023. All right, so that's what that's about. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and give guys, some answers, a perspective, and also, of course, some tips on how to handle modern women's lack of respect for men. So let me get into some of the reasons why I think that is. I was giving it a lot of thought because I was having some issues with this chick, and I just recently went through a breakup with, and I was also kind of analyzing something that a little boy said, the son of a single mother that I was dealing with said, and also something that a chick that I'm spending a lot of time with now kind of says, or her demeanor or her thought process, right? And these three situations, or these three different people, as well as thinking about myself and why do I view friendship the way I view friendship, why do I view relationships the way I view relationships, and I just started thinking about all those things and juggling them, and it started to make a lot of sense to me, right? So my question was like, damn, how is it that this girl lacks respect in certain areas? And I'm like, how can this girl be lacking respect for me, right? It can't be a personal thing, because people in general respect me, and majority of women I deal with respect me. So I'm like, what is this chick's issue? I've never given her a reason not to respect me, or a reason not to appreciate me or value me in light of all the things that I bring into her life. So she'll admit that. She'll admit that, how much I help her, how much I'm doing for her and whatnot. But her behaviors wouldn't suggest as much. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Everything is a result of people's childhood, more so how they're introduced to terms, titles, names, and concepts to begin with. So your understanding of what a dog is, you know what I mean? It's going to come from your childhood. But we all are pretty much going to share the same view or idea of what a dog is. But other things are a little bit deeper and a little bit more complex. Let me explain. So I was spending some time with a single mom. I was blowing her back out. That's all good. And it happened to be a circumstance where I ended up having to meet her children. She has a son and a daughter. So that obviously wasn't planned, right? But something had happened, and we were on a time frame. And I was like, you know what? Don't even be late to pick up the kids. Just pick up the kids on the way to the airport and drop me off. And I ended up meeting the kids, and I was talking to the little boy. But when he got in the car, this little dude actually said something about daddy, and I didn't really catch it. But his mom was like, no, that's not your daddy. And that kind of took me back for a second, because I was like, wait a minute. This kid knows his father. Like, this kid has met his dad before on multiple occasions. And I was thinking about it. Like, when I was on the plane, I was really thinking about it. I'm like, why the hell would this kid be like, thinking that I could possibly be his daddy? Mind you, this kid is 5. And then I realized, after comparing some other things that I was thinking about with other people, I realized it's the same as why this chick has a hard time behaving a certain way that would show respect, appreciation, admiration, and then also why this other chick who's Asian would be showing a lot of respect and a lot of admiration and a lot of appreciation. And I was kind of putting it all together, and I was thinking about how I see friends and how I behave with men that I consider to be my friend, and how I treat women overall, especially women that behave well. And then it clicked in my head. I was like, it's because of how we were introduced to the particular word or the term. So for example, that little boy, it's not that he hasn't met his father or met his dad, is that he doesn't completely understand the definition of the word dad, in the sense, because everybody has their own definition of dad. And it's going to kind of be based on how it was explained to you and how you experienced it. So if you didn't have a father, right, think about how you would view the word dad. So he's probably thinking, well, dad is supposed to be like a man that's like with my mom, and then like has what relationship to me. And maybe because of the way I was behaving with him, it was confusing, because I was basically, talking to him, picking his brain and seeing how he looked at certain things and making corrections where I saw that they were needed. So for example, he called something that he liked cute, and I was like, whoa, time out. What did you say? And he's like, it's cute. And I was like, no. I was like, we're boys, we're guys. We don't use the word cute unless we're talking about girls or puppies. And I can see like his mind like processing it, because what his mother is telling him is something completely different. Obviously, he picked up the word cute from his mom. So it just seemed like he thought, wait a minute, is this how a dad is supposed to behave? Is this my dad? Like he's with my mom. He's talking to me and dealing with me like this. Wait, is this my dad? You know what I'm saying? So the curiosity came out. So he asked his mom, like, is this going to be a reoccurring thing? Is this what it is moving forward, Mom? So it's very confusing to a kid. But the point that I'm trying to make is that I could see that kid was struggling with coming to terms with what the word dad and daddy meant to him. Where's Allende going with this? I'm going to tell you. So this particular girl that I'm talking about that has issues with respecting men, because that's what I realized. It's not a personal thing. Like, I'm not taking it personal. It's men in general you have a hard time respecting. You didn't respect your ex. You didn't respect your ex-husband. You don't respect your stepfather. But she likes her stepfather. She loves her stepfather. Her stepfather was there. He provided, blah, blah, blah. But the way she behaves, you can see that it's like, wait a minute, that's technically not how you would expect you to be treating this guy if you love him and he's always there for you. So it's not any ill will on her behalf is what I'm trying to say. It's just how she was taught to view and deal with and interact with men, the way she was taught to exchange with men. So by seeing that her father was never there, and then seeing that her mom had to go to work, and then eventually her mom decided to marry the stepfather that she was rejecting for years. She was rejecting this guy, so he fell into the friends category, the friend zone, and then he eventually graduated from friend zone to simp beta provider. You see, he went from friend zone to simp to beta provider, right? So he got what he wanted. He got the girl, but look under what circumstances he had to get the girl. So now, raising these daughters from that standpoint, this is how they view men. They view men as just beta providers. In other words, they're entitled to the provision from men. So regardless if they like the guy or they're attracted to the guy, their mind is still wired to have no display of appreciation. So even if they appreciated the guy, they don't know how to display the appreciation. They don't know how to compensate it. They don't know how to compensate, the guy, because they never saw that. They just saw their mother with a guy she didn't even like being given everything and doing basically all of nothing for said guy, right? So overall, what I'm trying to say to you guys is, don't take it personal when women don't respect you. It could be you. I'm not giving guys a cope here. It could be you. It could very well be personal. So the first thing you do is check yourself. You have that self-awareness and make sure, wait a minute, am I demonstrating leadership? Okay, so then the person that's not following it's not following because I'm not a good leader, it's because they have issues following. But you have to first establish that and make sure that's what it is. Because a lot of guys is whining that women don't follow them, but you're not a leader, bro. So if you are a leader and you're not being followed by a particular woman, discard, find another woman who is good at following, right? Once you've established you're good at leading. Now, same thing with the respect. Once you understand that, yes, I'm respectable, I've established that, I know I am, I've checked it, I've verified it, I've got the estimate, certain people that know how to identify it, respect it. So the issue isn't me, the issue is the person having a lack of respect. So therefore, distance self from said person. All right. So in other words, you guys have to vet and choose better. You need to investigate. You need to ask the right questions on dates. All you guys struggling with making conversation with dates, well, that's the type of stuff you should be talking about first, second, third date. Don't come in too heavy, because a lot of you guys come in way too heavy, asking the most serious questions and like making a girl feel like she's in an interrogation. So you have to be very smooth and slick on how you trick women into giving you the answers that you want. You can't be overly direct with them. But you at least have to have a plan, have a purpose, have an agenda, know what it is that you're trying to get to the bottom of, and make it a fun, interesting conversation they're going to enjoy having. But you need to figure out how they define certain words. The same way that little boy was struggling to define daddy for himself is the same way you need to struggle to determine how a woman defines these words. Man, boyfriend, you see what I'm saying? And that will help you save you a lot of time investing in the wrong chick, coming to find out that she doesn't even know how to respect a man or how to appreciate a man, because she's not capable of it because of how her hardwiring is. Don't be out here trying to fix these women, bro. A lot of these women cannot be fixed, because overall what I'm trying to say is that if that's the issue, there's absolutely nothing you can do. It doesn't matter how well you perform, that person still isn't going to get it because they were programmed incorrectly from childhood. They saw the wrong examples. They made the wrong associations. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I hope I gave you guys a valid answer for why the modern woman has such a hard time respecting men. And when I say men, I'm talking about men. I'm not talking about males. I'm not talking about guys. I'm not talking about people with Y chromosomes and penises. All right? Pay attention. I want to be very clear about this, because a lot of soy boys out there, a lot of punks out there, a lot of simps out there, you're not worthy of respect, dude. If that's you, you're not worthy of respect. All right? You need to do some self-work, get your shit together, put some dominance in your life, put some bass in your voice, right? Make some accomplishments, have some experience, bring something to the table that's concrete. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual men, all right, who are on their job, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're still not getting a certain type of respect, recognition, and appreciation from women. It's simply, in that instance, it's simply because the woman was not raised to recognize or understand that or appreciate that, because she didn't have it in the household. She didn't see it growing up. I'll throw another one in there. I'll throw a bonus one in there. Even though I'm trying to keep this video short, it's supposed to be about respect, I'm gonna throw a bonus one in there. Why do a lot of these women act so disconnected? They act like, I don't really care, it doesn't really matter. All right. Shorty was asking another girl, hey, like, are you single? Are you seeing somebody? And the chick was like, it's complicated. What does that mean? Oh, well, I'm seeing somebody, but I don't know what it is yet. So right now, it's whatever. You see what I mean? Like, why is she having such a loose attitude and mentality with it? Why are modern women behaving like men are replaceable? I'm gonna give you the answer, bro. Because they didn't grow up with one dad in their house. They didn't grow up with their mom being married to one man that happened to be their father. They saw their mother date multiple guys. Some guys lasted longer than others. So in their mind, right, their little child mind that's starting to see the world and understand the world and put things into perspective, okay, was initially programmed to see and view men as temporary, because that's what they saw as children with their own mom. Mom is dating this dude for 3 months, then she's dating nobody, and she's kind of just clubbing and hanging out or whatever. Then she's finally dating another guy that might last a year. You see what I'm saying? Then they break up, then she's dating another. So it's like, you have to ask these questions. Now, how do you figure out how many boyfriends any particular girl's mother had from the time she was born to the time she moved out of her home? I don't know, guys. You figure that one out, or you get a damn consult and we talk about it, all right? So if you need help with these issues, you need help with devising a plan for you in particular to get better results, that's what you hit me up on the consult for. But right now, I'm just giving a broad overview of some of these issues that dudes are struggling with, and I keep hearing the same nonsense being hit back and forth like a ping pong in the manosphere, and I don't hear any solutions. I don't hear any real nuanced answers. I just hear the same women are bad nonsense. It's a lot deeper than that, guys. All right, so I'm giving women that much credit. A lot of it is about you, how you behave, how you structure yourself and build yourself up, how you improve yourself, how you learn and adjust, and also how you choose better. Become a better hunter, all right, or gatherer if you want to spin plates and rotate, right? All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get up out of here on this one, but we fleshed out why women don't respect men, and you also got that little bit of bonus about why women see men as like ultimately replaceable nowadays. And if you got anything else for me, you got the email, you got the damn business number, hit me up, let's get some answers. Peace.
And you can't imagine, high up in the sky, high like I'm a